walked into the program, I initially thought it was going to be about black and white.
Now it helps me to better understand when there's a performance issue versus a cultural difference.
Just how much more aware I could be of different perspectives, different ways of thinking.
It has created awareness of a culture that is 8,000 miles away.
I think I probably made the wrong assumption going in that being the more senior person, that he would learn more from me. In fact, I think just the reverse happened.
It really transformed me personally.
In the next few minutes, we want to introduce you to the Cross-Cultural Learning Partner Program, an innovative learning experience about understanding cultures. In it, you'll hear stories about individuals who transformed personally, and in their new understanding of cultural differences through their learning partner, they were able to bring greater business results to their day-to-day work. Let's hear their stories.
The first question was, who was the they when you were growing up? And I just knew he was going to say blacks or whites because that was my they. He said for him it was the Irish who lived on one side of the town and the Irish who lived on the other. And it was really a difference between the poor and the rich.
I was reacting from the way that I think in my cultural context, saying that, you know, he runs this, he owns this process, why can't he make a change?
Sydney and I had a fascinating conversation one day about whether it was easier to be a black man or a white woman climbing the ladder. And of course, I thought it would be much easier to be a black man because I look at that C-suite as being all men. And he thought it was much easier to be a white woman because he looks at the C-suite as being all white people.
I just started seeing people more from an individual standpoint and realizing that they too had just a variety of experiences that really made up who they are today.
It was a lot of learning, which for me was a surprise because when I walked into the program, I presumed that I come from a country which has enough cross cultures within itself to be, would I really learn anything from this, or, it's not going to make much of an impact. But as I went through the program, I realized that one, my learning was tremendous in terms of how to interact with people from a different culture. While I had been doing it well, there was still more that could be done.
We're talking about compensating or engaging an individual, now understanding that family may be very important as opposed to a bump in compensation makes a world of a difference. Having a conversation about leaving work a little earlier or coming a little later in an effort to spend time with their children becomes very important to our engagement of the associate and also the productivity, therefore the results going back to our clients.
Right now I'm working with a new client from Belgium, and how this program has enabled me to understand his view of America and fit my consulting back to helping my Belgian contact understand U.S. healthcare is something I can do in a much more profound way now than I could before this program.
As the program concluded, I realized that as companies become more global, the cross-cultural competence is critical for success.
I went into this program thinking I was very open-minded, very thoughtful about all of those diverse points of view, and learned that I wasn't.
We worked through a typical example of how is it a one-line email could get interpreted completely differently by the time it has traveled over a significant distance.
It's an actual skill set that you can put on your resume that people are not realizing that it's going to be something that everyone's going to need moving forward.
I think I've actually moved from a manager role to a director role.
What I would say to a senior leadership group is put all of your planning on hold about other people learning things and classes and stuff like that. Put it all on hold. And for the first year, or the first 6 months, or the first 9 months, go through this program personally. Get in touch yourself with this whole issue. When you're done doing that, then you're going to be prepared to sponsor more effectively.
Want to be part of it? We'd be very happy to sit down with you and customize a program that really addresses the needs of the individual participants in your company in ways that affect your business results in a 24/7 virtual global world.